about to go on a quest. Kill the bad guy, get the girl.
You called me?
Save the world. Huzzah! Everyone wins today. La-di-da-da.
Better to just let me handle the fighting. I wouldn't want any of you common soldiers getting hurt.
It could be the opportunity to become the hero you always wanted to be. It won't, but it could.
Ouch.
It will be the end of Yendar's famous airborne leap.
Kill pick! No! When the going gets tough, the Dan gets going. I am nothing if not man incarnate. Because you can't spell Dan without man.
We are still stuck out here in the middle of nowhere.
My plan is complete. This power is all mine.
Oh man. Ooh, Run away, coward! Where are you so I can kill you myself?
You lose. Valhalla is mine.
Mind shackle.
So, Kelda, this is how your quest ends. Everyone that you've been protecting, captured or dead.
I can offer you something you want.
And what would that be?
Power.
To the death, then. Now this is a fight.
You are the only one who can save Valhalla.
We have an agreement then.
Yes, Korok. We agree.
And I have a plan.
We're all gonna die.
What's wrong with this guy?
Welcome to ToV Live and a Hero's Escape. Yes, a new scenario. Yes, it is, and we're gonna read it tonight. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday to you all. Welcome to the ToV live stream. I am Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla, here on a Sunday night. It's been it's been the busy beginning of the month this month, and it ain't over yet. We still have a lot of month to go. We were going through Wave 4, boiling tension the last few weeks, doing all that stuff, finally getting that stuff kind of like edited, released in little segments. Been working on that, had fun conversations with people. But then, amidst all that, we also have this new scenario that was released by Renegade, and I'm really looking forward to this. I've only browsed it. I usually save my read-throughs going live with you all, so you can get my first reactions from it. Since I have a little bit of knowledge in the Heroscape storytelling department, I hope people can take some of my insight or not. Usually, actually, you know what I take for most of the time is reading what you guys have to say about the subject, because you guys are a little bit more knowledgeable than myself, including Bill Flint there in the chat. Hello, Bill. I hope you are having a good Sunday, a good weekend leading into this week. And yeah, so this is all I got tonight. We're just gonna read through this scenario, have some fun with it. I will say this though, just the countdown video, just reviewing like the 3 seasons of Tales of Valhalla, the Aftermath Chronicles that I made in the last 10 years. I really got to rewatch this stuff. I haven't actually like done a sit down and just watch through everything for a little while. And oh, Bill Flint, you're very kind. Says, come on, watchers, give this live a thumb up at least. Yeah. You know, and actually, I will say something too before we get started with reading this as well. There are going to be some changes happening, just little changes, because like this past year, like I started a Patreon. Actually, like around this time last year, I started a Patreon. And got a little bit of backing, and as well as like last November, the Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel got monetized as well. And with the little bit of backing that I've gotten from some very, very special people, I think I can expand the channel, as well as when Tales of the Void channel starts coming out and we start doing content for that. I think I can expand it to another platform and use Restream and actually like purchase some Restream stuff to where I can stream to more than 2 channels and do that. So that's been a little help, even a little bit of help. I mean, sometimes a person will just give like $3 or whatever a month, or sometimes I've gotten like just one-time donations via like the PayPal donations. All that little bit does help. So I think that's one thing I'm going to be expanding on in the months to come this year. So yeah, it's good. It's good. But like Justin and Bill are saying, I gotta earn that thumbs up. Well, I mean, it's not like I spent the last 10 years, taking 300,000 plus photos on a stop motion animation adventure using Heroscape. It's not like I, didn't work on that at all, I'm kidding with you, Justin. No, and I know one thing Justin recommended. I'm keeping it in mind too that one of these days, an animation of like the old guard, the old team coming together again. Like Q10 might be Q11, Raylan, Drake, Shiori. Those guys. They got it. Just all that old guard. You got to bring them together in a stop motion animation way. Still figuring that out, but it's definitely on my mind. Hey, Derek, how you doing? Good evening to you. But yeah, so it's something that it's actually, I want to know one thing I gotta do. I gotta start writing again. I gotta start writing scripts, plotline, stories, ideas, and just get to work on it. It's in my mind. I have the pads of paper. I'm getting stuff set up for that. So hopefully, and actually that's one question I want to ask before anything else we got started. If I were to start streaming, maybe sometimes just me writing scripts and just bouncing out story ideas to y'all while I'm writing a script, because sometimes when I'm streaming doing stuff, it does keep me it keeps me accountable, it keeps me engaged to where I like, okay, I'll keep on doing this. Same with like editing stuff. I usually stream it because it'll keep me accountable to whoever audience is out there to be like, okay, I'm still doing something. So yeah, I might do that in the future as well, just separate streams at times. TDO Titan, it's been a little while. How are you? Actually saying, hell, it's been a while. Very cool to see some lore stuff. Hopefully things are going good. TDO Titan, things have been going pretty great. And there's a link in the description below for what I'm about to mention. I did something for last Renegade Con. I made about a 4-minute stop motion short for Renegade. Featuring like Heroscape characters involved in last month's Heroscape scenario. And so what I animated and the story I created and the subsequent video that I made is Heroscape pure canon. Like everything in it would now be considered canon, as opposed to my other stop motion stuff, which is non-canon. So it was a great opportunity. I had to like sign NDAs and stuff with Renegade and work with them on getting everything as good as possible. But yeah, so and a link below for that short is so if you want to view it yourself is there. But that was a great opportunity and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. That was a big project that took about 5 months to do just for 4 minutes, but got it done. And hopefully in the future, we'll see if Renegade can do more. Let them know that you enjoyed it, though, if you've seen it. So, Justin saying it was so good it made Lee speechless. Yeah, for those who don't know, the Renegade Con, they had some. Bill Flint, ToV, I support you for the reason you are doing these videos. Well, I appreciate it, Bill. I got a lot of good reasons, and I don't want to get into it now because then we'll veer off. But I do appreciate it. So how about we get into this before I just keep on rambling on into the night? We can do rambling on Wednesday. Tito Titan, oh nice that you did some animation for Renegade and it's canon. Your stop motion stuff is so talented. I'll have to watch it. Yes, please do. Like I said, link in the description below on this live stream. If I should have a link for it there. If not, you can just, you're on the YouTube channel anyway. It's there. It's one of the most recent uploads. So yeah, definitely check it out. Okay, so how about we get into this? All right. So let's see. So we are going to read first the lore, Sonlen's journal from this scenario 7, Shattered Souls, and I think it's just 1 page. It's like last time it was 3 pages, but I think this time it's just 1 page. So let us get into the lore part. So from the pen of Sonlen, finally we got Sonlen back. He's writing things because before it's been like other characters writing things. So but this time. It is a letter written from the pen of Sonlen. So I'm going to read through it once, just all the way through, and then I'll read through it again a second time to give my opinions on it. Let's go. From the pen of Sonlen, 25th of Dagmar. Shiori. I have labored over how to write this letter. For I know that it will grieve you. In the tradition of my people, for the loss of a great warrior, they would write mourning songs and sing a dirge heard throughout the forests of Waylon trees. And 1,000 vigil lights would be set in the bows of the city. I have no such honors to give now for a fallen friend. I write this as we make camp in the sunken mires of Anund, where scavengers pick over the dead in the night around us. Major Q10 has been destroyed. I know that you are closer to him than even I was, and I cannot forget how his gentle company kept our spirits aloft through the darkest days of our journey to Takala. My search for a cure to the poison that afflicts Uller has brought me far. Aquila's wizards did not get all the information that they required from the Anthenum in lore, but in the aftermath I received a message from Iwashia, a loyal servant of Aquila, and a powerful wizard in her own right. She has sent her familiar Anshu with me, I suspect both to bring any useful information we encounter back to her, and to keep the elder wizard Halushia in check. He is a strange-tempered fellow, but he travels with me now in search of the wizard Rekshot, who specializes in such vile and forgotten magic. The last I heard of Rekshot was them fleeing alongside Revna's forces towards Heshiva in Anund, so we set out together for that barren place. Our journey there was interrupted when, while flying on Velsa's back, I caught sight of Major Q10's metal armor scattered across the battlefield like silver bones. Oh. I'm not sure yet who felled him, but his armor has been rent, his living wires torn and mangled. Wow. The hours that followed are a darkness to me. I retrieved a vital part of him, but it was not easily recovered. Rusted soulborgs, half alive and full of dying embers, crawled out of the mire around me, trying to take his heart for themselves. In my crestfallen state, I almost thought I saw the shapes of old friends and allies in their twisted metal forms. I have not been caught in such a vicious onslaught since our venture against the Morrow at Zaltika. I always get that name wrong. I hold now the glowing core that once sat in Q10's chest, but I do not know if he can be repaired from this. Did he not say that the souls of his kind were bound within their metal shells? Can a vessel such as this really hold a soul? Even if I were to find a new armor to place it in, would it bear any of our friend's memories, any resemblance to him at all? Although Halushia has charged into battle alongside me without question, and even now keeps a sleepless vigil while Anshu and Velsa rest, the old wizard does not quite understand my despair. For him, the only life that matters is that which grows in root and vine and the earth beneath us. I've had difficulty explaining that Q10, though fashioned of cold metal, is one of the greatest friends I have known. Souls are the same, whether clad in flesh or bark or steel. Q10 was merciful, and therefore he thought himself flawed, and it was for that flaw that we loved him the most. I shudder to think of what he might have been had he been wrought as his creators intended, as a cold administrator of death. I am sorry to write to you of losing a friend, when we have already lost another of our company. I shall do everything in my power to restore him, if it is possible. There is still a hope, however scant, of our crew of 5 friends reunited again one day. I shall not let go of it yet. Sonlen. Now, isn't that interesting that we were just talking about Justin telling me, you know, the reuniting of friends and me putting that in a stop motion type, you know, animated format. Showing mercy is why he's dead, said Derek. Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting because this is actually kind of going backwards, because I discussed, and if you all want to go to Renegade's or www.heroscape.com on the Renegade page, there is a lore piece for Major Q11 that me and Jeremy read a few weeks ago. That got updated because when the Q11 unit was first announced, and then information on them was released on Heroscape or on Renegade's website, the lore portion did not get released at that time. Well, now it's there, and me and Jeremy read through it, and it talks about Q10 or Q11 being made, or Q10 being remade into Q11. So that is the ending story of that. But yeah, Justin, this is a very emotional thing, and we're going to go through this because there's some stuff here. There is some stuff here. Now, because it's been a little while since we were finding out what Sonlen has been doing. Oh, and another interesting tidbit too. In the narration of that animated short that I made for Renegade, this last Renegade Con, the narration is supposed to be in the voice of Sonlen, and it's my voice. So technically, via canon, I'm currently the voice of Sonlen because no one else has taken that role, which is again, that's kind of a cool thing. I'm also the voice of Bach Bernard as well, which is I consider more fun because now my the way that the Morrow sound is kind of canon now. But anyway, I digress. Derek says, I think it would be kind of hilarious if Raylan killed him while she was pretending to be mind controlled. Explain that to your friends. Actually, that would be, well, to where she kind of like destroyed his body but not his soul, and she knew that Q10 would have a soul, so he would have, but how would she know that someone would pick him up? You know, that's yeah, that's the only thing. But it's interesting that now the question is, how did he get that way? How did he get destroyed? And I think Jeremy would say, just wait. You know, it'll probably come out sometime down the line. But yeah, okay, so let me just start going through this. So he's writing to Shiori, and now we already know that Q10 gets remade into Q11, but at this time, yeah, Justin's like, that was my first thought too. Yeah, exactly. At this time during the writing this letter, I mean, all Sonlen has is the core soul of Q10. Yeah, Raylan. I was deep undercover. Yeah, somehow Raylan isn't evil. Although she is, you know. This is actually interesting for a character arc, because when it comes to Raylan, because obviously she wanted revenge. How far are you willing to go for revenge? And what type of person do you become if you seek after that? There's a path you can go when it comes to honoring a person's memory that might have been taken too soon, that might have been taken very violently, you know, against their will, that, you know, someone left behind from you. And to seek after revenge and anger and hate can transform you from a good person into something that you didn't think would be possible. It's when it feeds into you. So it's going to be interesting where it can take Raylan. And that's just a side note, because Raylan isn't exactly in this bit of knowledge, with the exception of, I think, Sonlen's kind of hitting at that at the end. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And I trust, I mean, Jeremy is responsible for a lot of this lore, or the lore coming up for it. So I'm trusting that, you know, he'll be able to take it and guide it to a good conclusion, for good or evil, you know. We'll see, because at the same time, even if you fall down to a state of depravity seeking after that revenge, you can have a downfall arc, but you can also have a redemption arc too, and that can take you know, whatever over the course of time you need to take for it. All right, okay, Shiori, I've labored over how to write this letter, so I mean, Sonlen's got a lot of emotion here, for I know it'll grieve you and the tradition of my people. Yeah, so he's given some background into himself, because Sonlen is an elf, and elves have their, I mean, if it's a Tolkien like elf, you know, I mean, this isn't exactly Tolkien, but similar. They're going to have their ballads. They're going to have their laments for fallen friends. And unfortunately, he can't do that too much on Valhalla. And so it also explains, and it goes right to the point, basically, in the second paragraph. Major Q10's been destroyed. TD10 says, yeah, to be honest, I'm a sucker for tragedies, and plays, so part of me likes that stuff. Yes, but I'm also on the side of revenge, better than just getting taken advantage of. Oh, no, I get it. I mean, I don't think you don't have to seek after revenge, because, you know, there's a term, forgive but don't forget. Yeah, I would never encourage anybody to be walked over. But there is also something about stepping in a direction that make you someone, make you into someone just like what you're trying to destroy. Derek says Red Dead, Raylan Nuptions. Anyway, okay. Major Q10 has been destroyed. Nah, I know that you were closer to him than I was, and I cannot forget gentle company. Yeah. So basically, a gentle giant. So reminiscing back. So this goes back to Swarm of the Morrow. My search for the cure to the poison that affects Ular has brought me far. Keela's wizard. So this is Sonlen just going wherever possible to seek a cure, because eventually it will take hold of these Valkyrie generals and just wipe them out. It starts with madness, but eventually it will kill them because it is poison. But this is an interesting team up. So this is a new team up. So we have Halucia, we've got Sonlen with his now grown up dragon. We have Anshu. It's a very interesting team up here, and they're basically on a quest. They're on a quest to not seek the Grail, but seek a cure. And I mean, this also, we have references from past lore bits of past scenarios. So this is all kind of like coming together, which is good. I'm glad that they brought this back to a head. Yeah, Bill Flint. Yeah, Renegades released new versions of each of the party from Thermosher. Exactly. Yep. And I mean, and I show some of that in my short too. I mean, I have Sonlen doing the narration, but that short is primarily about Shiori and about the situation that she's in at that time, being a spy and still trying to have to stay undercover, although she reveals herself in that moment to where she had to against the minion, but then goes right back in her disguise, and so the pirates don't know that she's in disguise. It was a fun bit of writing I had to do too for that. Let's see here, and so there, yeah. So next on there, so they're looking for Rakshot, who's part of Revna's forces. So they have to probably get into Revna territory, which is gonna be a chore. And so on their way to that, they're flying and they see like just this disaster land, to where they see signs of Q10 just scattered everywhere. And who knows what destroyed him. Actually, that would be an interesting thing. What exactly destroyed him? If it wasn't Raylan, what powerful creature could have destroyed Q10? Because Q10 is pretty darn powerful. So that's another question that probably can keep in mind. So I mean, yeah, I'm sure Sonlen was pretty distraught. And this is a fun thing. Rusted Soulborgs. And we're gonna get into like the actual like the playthrough scenario, which seems really fun. And actually, I think it was it you, Derek, or was it somebody else who were like made like versions of Rusted Soulborgs? They're like so cool. Like they're on Facebook. But we'll get into that in a moment. But first, just talking lore. So you have a lot of it's a really interesting look. Derek has some random molten crustacean stepped on in Soul, and he exploded. I'm hoping for a big creature that just bashed him in pieces. Yeah, Derek said, okay, I made one of those so far. Others are under construction. They look really cool, Derek. Yeah. Like I said, we'll get into that in a moment. So yeah, I've not been caught since it's like I like how Zaltika is mentioned here, and then the glowing core in Q10's chest, and we know that it eventually does get reappeared by Queen Kyrian. I don't know if we can repair it from this. Does he not say? Okay. Yep. So these are just questions. Really good references. Although Helucia, and we get to learn about some of Helucia's personality. Helucia obviously isn't human. Is more in tune with plants. So a different character altogether. And yet Sonlen's still got to work with Helucia. Derek, if you can send it to me via Discord, I can show it. Yeah, I didn't download it. Otherwise, I probably would show it. I'd love a new bioengineered Mario build, even if we took out Q10. Yeah. Well, if it wasn't a bioengineered Mario, I would still enjoy having a new bioengineered Mario. We kind of need that. We only got a Bark-Burna. We need something bigger. We need something that's just gonna be like. Okay. Thank you, Derek. Yeah. I'll try and get it before the end. Okay. So your soul's the same with included fresh bark of steel. Q10 was merciful. Yeah, Q10, that a machine with a soul. Therefore, he thought himself flawed. So that flaw we loved him most. Yeah. Yep. Cold Minister of Death. Yep. I'm sorry to write to you losing a friend. We've already lost another of our company. So this is, I believe this is a Raylan reference here. Didn't really lose her. She just, they just think she's gone, crossed over to the dark side. I should do everything in my power to restore him. If it possible, there is still a hope. I love this little hint. However scant, of our crew of 5 friends reunited again one day. So if they're writing that there, who knows? I'll tell you what guys do in the chat. Write to Renegade and say, let Tales of a Hell do that, like do an animation of them reuniting, and fighting together again. And if they would ask me, I probably would do it. Because that would be fun. And actually how I'd see that now I'm just brainstorming, but I could do like a flashback of like them 5 originally fighting together, and then do present time of their new versions of themselves like fighting together. Derek says, I think the only flaws in Major Q10 was the program Stay Alive. Funny. Anyway, okay, so this is like, written like it's, bad news, but again, Major Q10 gets rebuilt into Major Q11. It's almost like a Gandalf storyline, really, to where the old Q10 is dead, yes, but as we already know in Q10's new lore, he's been rebuilt into someone new. Now, how Q11's going to be, what his personality is going to be, I guess we'll wait and see. It's probably not going to be the same. Probably going to be different. Yet there's still probably going to be part of him that's still there somewhere. So we'll see. Here's to, like Sonlen says at the end of this. Here is to hope. Still a hope, however scant, that our crew be reunited again one day. And I think, like Sonlen, we shall not let go of it yet. And so that's taking a look and reviewing. And Justin saying, in previous journal, Sonlen talked about the turncoat Raylan. Exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Justin. Yeah. So as soon as the other member of the company we lost is a Raylan reference. Yeah, that's my guess too, because I think everyone else is accounted for. So, yeah, and I think there's, even though Sonlen obviously has no love for Raylan at the moment, he still hopes, that she can be redeemed, like any good elf, I think they have that hope. So yeah, that's taking a look from the pen of Sonlen. So this would be Sonlen's journal number 7, and that's taking a look and looking at Sonlen's journal. And again, they keep on writing good, so I'll keep on reading it. All right, now let's take a look. And here I'm gonna here. Hold on a second. Let me get. See here, Derek. Derek sent me. Oh, okay, he sent me a few photos. Okay. Yeah, I do have those photos. So here, I'm just gonna do my best. Let's see here. Okay. Good. Yeah. I'm just gonna bring them here. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Here. I'm glad, at least for the moment, for like Sonlen's journal, that it all seems to be coming together, and it should. Okay, get this. Yeah, Derek, this is pretty sweet. So just to give y'all like a little bit of a reference while we're reading through this scenario. Here, hold on. I'm gonna. Okay. So what I'm gonna do. This might pop up over here. No, okay, it's gonna pop up there. Good. All right. So I'm gonna bring this here. Put them there. Nice. Okay. All right. So got them there, but I'm gonna show them in a second. Just a second. All right. Here. Okay. Now, let us get into this. Okay, so that's the map. So now we're going to be getting into the online scenario itself and the gameplay, and we'll look at those other photos in a second. First, let's look at the map. Okay, you know, this map reminds me, is there like a similar map in like Storm of the Morrow? I think there's a similar map in one of the old master set scenarios. It's very familiar. I don't know if it was Storm of the Morrow or Rise of the Valkyrie, but they're kind of doing a recreation of that, which is just fine. It gives you a little bit of nostalgia there. So this map is called Map 1, Fields of Rust. Required sets: Battlefield Wellspring, Swamps of Valhalla, Rising Tide, Sonlen and Lucia, Skynet Wild Army expansion, medium single space figures, and large single space figures. So yeah, whatever miniatures you can have, you can use as proxies. Okay, it says once travelers crossing from Upper Bleakwood into Anund. So okay, wait. For reference, let's look at the map. Upper Bleakwood, here we are. Anund. So up in this area of the map is what we're talking about. Okay, just so you all know. On the map. It's always good to have that reference. Would have been met with the sight of lush fields and serene villages that were one with the natural landscape. Now those who pass into the Valkyrie Vidar's lands are met with a graveyard. Polluted pools wind for miles over flooded battlefields, and vile plants take root among the rusted heaps of thousands of Solborg soldiers fallen over years of bitter war. Ghost stories told about the border of Anund say that a semblance of life still lingers in these grim piles of rotting metal, hungry for the souls of any who venture too close. Ooh. It's too soon for Halloween. It's too soon for Halloween. All right, but yeah, that's a nice little map. Nice little map. And so now we get into online scenario 7, Shattered Souls, master game. All right. Let's read this lower part. Sonlen slides down Valessa's back. You know, it would be cool to have like just a Sonlen miniature without the dragon, you know, just himself, so I could animate that better. I know, it wouldn't be great for y'all, but it'd be great for me. Let's see. Kneels in wet earth and places a hand upon a large metal skull buried in the mud. Its eyes no longer glow with blue light, but he knows well the face of his dear friend, the Solborg commander, Major Q10. As Velsa shuffles closer with her glowing wings outstretched, but Sonlen holds up a hand. Velsa's trying to heal Q10. Magic can easily mend flesh and bone, but forging bodies of metal and wire is a more complicated sorcery. The wizard Halucia, galloping at breakneck pace, catches up only moments later, the beast Anshu clinging to its back for dear life. I kind of like the character of Halucia. That's an interesting character. Very bold, type character. Sonlen looks up across the wreckage, looking for a vital vessel. It is a silver sphere with intricate dials, and it glows with an inner blue light. But when he finds it, it is not alone. Rusted Solborgs gather around it like vultures, bickering over who will keep it. Their flickering visors look up to Sonlen as he draws near, and he readies bolts of magic as Halucia at his side draws an ancient blade. Sonlen senses the scavengers will not part with the heart of his friend easily, but he will not leave this blighted valley without it. And I'll see him call it. Jeremy's in the chat saying, I've been patiently waiting for the snow to drop for a while. I know a few members in the audience had questions about Q11. Here are the answers. Yep. And we were reading through the Sonlen's lore journal a little bit ago, and so a lot of what in the Q11 storyline now makes sense, because this is like a little bit what happened to Q10. We don't know what destroyed Q10 yet, We just know he did get destroyed. And so there's been like speculation on how exactly he got destroyed. Everything from crustaceans exploding below him, or for like with the helm of Mintasol, or like some unknown Morrow bioweapon that we haven't seen yet. Stuff like that. All right. So let's read now the. Roguescaper, rest in peace, my metal friend. Yes. Okay. Now let's just read this. Okay, goal. Player 1 must retrieve Major Q10 Soul Core. Okay, that's where you're getting no more. I can't say that word, Jeremy. I'm sorry. No more. Phylacteries. Oh, okay. Like, I don't know what it means, but Soul Core is much better. Yeah, I like it. Player 1 must retrieve Major Q10 Soul Core, Glyph of Brandar, and transport it to the marked exit spaces. Player 2 must destroy all player 1's figures with an army of rusted Soulborgs. Choose any 8 medium single-space figures and any 2 large single-space figures that are not in play. Use 8 medium figures as scrap guards and 2 large figures as rustwalkers. Player 1 places Halucia, Anshu, Sonlen, and the Glyph of Brandar where shown on the map. Player 2 places 4 scrap guards and 1 rustwalker on any swamps water spaces they choose. Victory. Player 1 wins if one of the figures is on the Glyph of Brandar and occupies only exit spaces at the end of a turn. Player 2 wins if all of Player 1's figures are destroyed. If the battle reaches the end of round 6, Player 2 wins. Special rules. The Glyph of Brandar is Major Q10 Soul Core. Okay. And at the end of the figure's turn, if that figure is within 1 space of a Soul Core and no enemy figure is on top of it, they may pick it up by moving the glyph beneath them. A figure that begins its movement on the Soul Core may carry it, moving it along with that figure. When a player's figure receives a wound or is destroyed while on the Soul Core, the other player may immediately move the Soul Core to any adjacent space. Soulborgs on the Soul Core add 1 to their attack and defense values. Okay. The rested fields are full of battle damaged Soulborgs that could rise from the mire at any moment. At the end of each round, player 2 rolls 20-sided die 3 times. On a 1 through 3, nothing happens. On a 4 to 15, player 2 may place a scrap card, if any are available. On 16 through 20, player 2 may place a Rustwalker or up to 2 scrap guards, if any are available. Scrap guards and Rustwalkers may be placed on any empty swamp water spaces. When placing order markers, player 2 must use 1 army card to represent the scrap guards and another to represent the Rustwalkers. When an order marker is revealed on one of these army cards, player 2 takes a turn with all figures represented by that army card. Use the cards on the next page for the scrap guards and Rustwalkers. This is really, really cool. Wait, I just remember there's a being that feeds upon Soulborgs. Roguescaper says, my toddlers, when they get hold of my pieces. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that, Josiah. I really like this, that you get new character cards. Now, you don't have the miniatures, but you could do proxies for anything, really. You could use stuff if you don't have old Heroscape stuff. You could use, other miniatures. I mean, you could use multiple things. So it's okay to get proxies. These actually, like right here, these remind me. Oh, I know what these remind me of. Gladiatrons. They look like Gladiatrons. It looks like Gladiatrons. Like, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm burping. All kinds of things. And I know I have, like, actually what I was thinking is, like, I have a ton of Zedian guards that I could alternate, sculpt them. Bill Flint, now you have me thinking of, like, making a Hellforged baby, actually, or a Hellforged toddler. but these are really, really cool. Let me just read through them real quick. So Derelict Scrap Guard, so this is a squad. Solborg Common Squad Guard, Mindless Medium 5. These would be great just to play on their own too. This is so cool. I like this. Let's see here. Life of 1, move of 6, range of 1, attack 1, defense 1. I mean, they don't have much to them. Use the hit zone, target point figures representing the Scrap Guard. Rust Cluster Special Attack, range 1, attack 1 plus special. Instead of attacking normally with all escape cards, choose one Scrap Guard. Choose one Scrap Card to make a single Rust Cluster Special Attack. Kind of like zombies. Add 1 die to this attack for each Solborg adjacent to the defending figure. That's so cool. It's like a zombie special attack. That's awesome. Derelict Rustwalker, Solborg Common Hero, Deathwalker Mindless Large 7, Cluster Targeting. When attacking, add 1 attack die for every Solborg that is adjacent to the defending figure. Life of 1, move of 4, range of 6, attack 3, defense of 6. Wow, okay, this thing, yeah. It's a common hero, though. My goodness. You know, what would be good, though, this one thing that don't add, and maybe we should add, is like point value to these, so we can measure them for like future, because I like just to use these in regular gameplay. These look really cool, just not just for the scenario, you know. It's like another way of using like your old like your old Deathwalkers, you know, that you have, because a lot of us have like multiple Zedian guards, multiple Deathwalkers that we don't need, and you get a bunch of them, and you can make them into something else. And here okay, so let me get these photos up, because I found this not this one, let me get to there. All right, so here I'm gonna go back to this. So okay, there's the images of these guys, just shadowy images, but what Derek is doing, and check out Derek. Oh, I'm gonna get the name right here. Derek's Hobbies, Interest in Life Moments, a YouTube channel. And Derek, I'm building them. They'll be in one of my Comic Clash videos. Great, Derek. You know what I would recommend, Derek, you can do? I know this isn't exactly your forte, but if you can make a build video on what you do to make these, or maybe some type of just written instructions on Facebook or Discord, that would be really cool, really beneficial to make these guys into something, you know, different. But look at that, guys. Look at that. Just making them rust worthy. I know it might be something really simple, but and I think you're probably like detaching, reattaching. Yeah. You're mixing and matching. You're cutting apart some miniatures and putting together on others, which is actually a nice touch. That is really nice. That is really nice. Very, very inventive, Derek. You should make a few. And actually, Derek, you know what you should do? Make a few of these, like extra stuff. If you have enough miniatures available. If not, then don't worry about it. But extra stuff, and do like giveaways, you know, for some miniatures, because I think people might want to be like, oh yeah, I like to do a giveaway on these, just so I just don't have proxies. I can have these guys. Yeah, isn't it cool, TO Titan? Yeah, that, and it's not my stuff. It's Derek's. It's Derek's. That is really nice stuff. So yeah, that's a scenario. I really don't have too many critiques with this. It's a really simple. Obviously, I mean, you have to get the everything that's required for this whole setup, but that's a really fun setup. And to incorporate actually like a new common squad and a new common hero to this scenario, that's fun. And just basically using old Heroscape miniatures, and you can do your own if you want to. That's really good. I think the only critique I think I really have, like, that stands out to me at the moment, is just that add point value to these cards. We need to now go through And I don't know if anybody has, because this scenario has been out for like a week or so, a little over a week. I don't know if anybody's made point value for these guys, but make point value for these guys, because I think these would be a lot of fun to play outside of this scenario as well. And they're both guard, or this one's guard. So technically, I don't know if it's a guard hero or not, but I think there's some synergies with some of these. Let's see here. Derek says, thank you. I have extra stuff. I do not have extra EJ1M. He has parts on both Rustwalkers, and he is not easy to acquire to make them silhouette accurate. I know for me, Derek, like I have a ton of Zedian guards that I might like butcher a few and makes them myself. But I really like to know how you made the rust part. Like what's your method for that? So yeah, if you did like a little, like maybe like a 5-6 minute video on how you made those types of things, other people could probably take up and just make their own versions of it too. That's yeah, really creative, Derek. Good job. But yeah, so that's basically all I got to say about this new scenario. And Jeremy's saying, by the way, there's reference to what happened to Major Q10 in Scenario 2's Sonlen letter. Oh, cool. I'm not going to pull it up right now because I don't have it. But yeah, everybody you want to, like, again, link in the description below. If you want to check out all these scenarios at Renegade, I have a link for that in description below if you're watching this on YouTube. And then you can check out Scenario 2 and try and look up that reference that Jeremy's saying. So thank you, Jeremy, for that bit of information as well. And this is something I really like. So just basically the primary focus is on Q10. It's a little bit of a tragedy, but also again, the tragedy leading towards a restoration, and a fun little a scenario game for us to play. And I hope to see the scenario being played out at like a Hero's Escape, a Hexala, and others on their YouTube channels very, very soon. Looking forward to that, and can't wait. I'm going to pack this up and save it, and something that me and my son can play when he's a little bit older. So that is taking a look at. I'd say 2 thumbs up for this scenario this month. They need to do like more of these just surprise game cards in the future too. But that's taking a look at online scenario Shattered Souls from Renegade Games Studios. All right, guys. So that is what I've got for tonight. I do have to wrap up pretty quickly right now because it's busy week. But I do appreciate the comments. I do appreciate the support. This Wednesday's stream, it might be another short stream, but it's going to be kind of like a Source Adventure Together game related thing. I think sooner or later, Wednesday night streaming is going to be a transition to like Tales of the Void live, so TOTV live. And because the Source Train stuff is starting to come out, so Sunday nights are going to be devoted to Tales of Valhalla and Heroscape, and then Wednesday nights will be devoted more to Source, and I'm going to be doing a podcast called the TOTV podcast, or Tales of the Void podcast, talking about all things Adventure Together, Source, Time Strike, and everything that goes with it. So this Wednesday night, Source has a beta for a map builder, a digital map builder, which I will start building and go through. So it might be beneficial, to see for via Heroscape stuff. But I want to start building maps online because I'm going to be like doing animations and stuff for Tales of the Void sometime in the future as well. So I'd like to try to build some big scale maps, test that bit of software out that they've made. Again, it's in the beta, it's still in the beta testing, but I do want to try that out, so I'm going to live stream that. We can comment on that type of thing. So not so many things to be excited about. I'm so just, I'm like eating the feast, and I'm just so full. There's just brain. It's just like, oh my goodness, so much. There's so much, guys. There's so much. But I can just shout out to everybody again. Heroes Escape, Bill Flint, and let's see here, Derek. Who else? Justin in the chat. TDO Titan, to where it's been a while. I hope if you haven't watched the short that I did for Renegade, I hope you watch it and enjoy it. And leave a comment too, or at very least give Renegade a comment to tell them we want to see more stuff from ToV. Let's see here, Bill, Derek, yeah, Jeremy, Roguescaper, chanting in there for a second. I don't think I missed anybody. But yeah, thank you guys so much for commenting. And yeah, the LSM College, or Jeremy, says, I'm Majora's incarnation in the Renegade server if you wish to DM. Exactly. Jeremy is a man of many names, of many aliases. TDO Titan, I was glad I was able to catch your stream after a while. Have a good one. I'll definitely have to add a comment in there. Yeah, please do. And please, again, let Renegade know if you enjoy it. Let Renegade know directly, like send them an email or on the Discord or whatever, and say, hey, we want Tales of Hell to do more stuff, so they can get a message out there. But yeah, TDO Titan, I hope you're doing well, and hopefully we can catch you on the chat in the future as well. So all y'all, take care. Have a good night. We'll see you this Wednesday. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it, and we'll see you all next time. Later now. Bye-bye.